Welcome to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit, a platform where we have invited Spirit to share messages, healings, and transmissions with all of us. May this energetic experience help us to expand our awareness and to deepen the relationship we have with our higher self, our spiritual team, and with Source, however we define them. Thank you for being here and for taking part in this amazing journey. Hello, and welcome back to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit, episode 11, season 6. We are with Chiara Prato. For those of you that have joined us in the past, you will recognize her. She is part of my practice group. So I've got a group of friends that we get together and practice channeling, ideally every week, but it doesn't always happen every week. And she's one of that group, as is Samuel, who alternates with Chiara on seasons. And so he was here with us last season. He'll be here next season. And so Chiara is now the one that is with us. So as always, Chiara, I will get us started by asking you to introduce yourself, and then we will go from there.
Okay. Let's start. Well, I am Chiara. I'm from Italy, so I apologize for all the mispronunciation I will do during this evening. As Daniel said, we are part of the same practice group. We started together, and we started 3 years ago now. Over 2. I don't know. I am bad with numbers.
Me too.
So I have no idea. It's been a while. And Sally and Wendy are with us usually. And what can I say? I started to, let's start from the beginning. The first time I realized that the word was not just physical stuff was when I was doing Aikido class. I was taking an Aikido class, and we focused that seminar on Chi, on the energy. And I was able, with my closed eyes, to see the energy of my teacher moving behind myself. And that was very, very strange. So it made me curious, and I started to looking for a little bit more answer. And it took me a little while, like 20 years. But I'm starting to understand a little bit more finally. So years ago, I started to, I learned a technique, energetic healing technique called Life Alignment. And that's where that was another very important step for my life, because I started to realize how the energy started to flow and how the message can arrive to people even without knowing. I had no idea what trans-channeling was. I never tried that before. And one day I was having my hair done in a shop. And I was speaking with a woman, and she said that her father was passed days before, and she was stunned because it was a sudden death. And I don't think I never told Daniel this story. I think, well, something new. Finally. So I was there, and I don't know what came to me, and I answered this question to this woman and said, look, this man gave you this present. He couldn't do anything for you, the point where he was. So he decided, his spirit decided to leave suddenly, to not give you the weight of taking care of him. And while I was saying that, I was basically crying. I felt a love I never felt in my life. It was a feeling completely new and different. So I was quite stunned because I had no idea what I did. And she was moved by that. It was the only time I got an experience like that. And then I discovered Jimmy Butler, which is one of the best casualty. No, casualty in English means something else. How you say that in English? You know what I mean. Coincidence.
Outcome?
Yeah,
Coincidence?
that too. So one day she appeared on my YouTube, and I had no idea why. And it was intense. It was fantastic, and then so I started to follow her, and then she did this amazing class in trans-channeling, and that's where Daniel, Sally, and Wendy met, and I met, and that's how I started to channel it. And I found out that it was fantastic, and it was incredibly uplifting. And I found out that something I never could believe it was possible, and that was giving voice to spirit helped me to find my own voice, and that was something incredible. I found out that when I give voice, I borrow my voice to, I let them borrow my voice. It helped me to find the strength and the courage to be myself when I'm not channeling or trans-channeling, actually. And this is amazing. And I found out that it was very nice. And the feeling of trans-channeling was something that was helping me, and it could help others. And so that's why I started to do that. And that's why I am here tonight. So I hope I can help someone, or if not help, at least have fun. I have a very, very informal kind of setting in my mind setting in my trans-channeling. Basically, they are my friends. Spirits are my friend. And so I never have the very formal attitude with them. It's basically like, if when you speak with a spirit, I am trans-channeling, is like you meet someone somewhere, like in a park, in a pub, or somewhere. And so it's not like there is a very huge distance. It's like more a conversation between peers, and that's the way I love. And they are nice, and they are funny, and they are trying to always trick me because I usually I have some resistance still in telling name. So they try to trick, usually they do, trick me so I can say who am I channeling. So if you guys have any question,
So
yes.
there's a couple
Spirits
questions in the
of-
chat about Jamie Butler, jamiebutlermedium.com. Jamie was our teacher. She has a wonderful course. I think it's still 16 weeks. She's actually starting one later this month. And so if you're interested in listening to this live or during the replays, you might still be able to join her next class. She's an amazing teacher. I love her
Yes.
energy. Tell her I say hi and that I sent you. I'm trying to convince her to come and be a speaker on the show. So the more people go to her platform saying that they came through here, hopefully I can I can entice her to come and speak with us.
Well, we can vouch that she is an amazing teacher.
She's got a beautiful energy, and she's playful, and she's open, really experienced. Shannon, who a lot of you have been kind of hearing in the chat and throughout the season, who's also a speaker, and again, she's in alternating seasons right now. She introduced me to Jamie, and so there's always a thread. But anyway, Camille says spirit has lots of humor. They don't always, but they can, and a lot of it depends on your own perspective and your own idea about them. And it's interesting you say this, Camille, because I know people that channel Metatron who say, oh, he's so serious and he just answers questions in really simple, a few word answers and doesn't really go into a lot of detail. And then someone else channels Metatron and says, oh my God, he's so playful and he's so adventurous and so, open and friendly. And so a lot of it will depend on the energy that you bring into it.
Yes.
And I have a lot to thank Chiara for this, because I speak of our spirit friends as spirit friends because of her. So she's influenced me a lot. And the reason that I talk about playing with spirit is because of her and the influence that she had on me and the relationship she has with spirit. I said, raise my hand. I want that too. I want them to be my friends too. And so we call this conversation Chit Chat with Spirit, again, because Chiara, for her, this is what it is. It's a chit chat with a friend. It's not a serious conversation or anything really kind of, big and impactful, though it is transformative and we get all kinds of beautiful information from spirit. We're just chatting with friends. And even if they're new friends, we call them new friends. And, so it's a lot of fun to play with spirit in that way. And Chiara is a big reason for why I have my approach with spirit as well.
Also with me often they come the newbie and kids and people that are learning, probably because I'm still learning too. So we are growing up together. And again, if anyone has a question.
Camille, go ahead.
You are in mute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
See, spirit has a sense of humor. No, what I wanted to, it's nice to meet you. I'm so glad I got here. I wanted to ask you, how do you hear spirit? Do you hear it in your own voice? Do you hear it in a different voice, or do you see them? How do you know that you're with spirit at the time? I mean, we can be with spirit all the time, I guess, but there are definitely times it comes in.
It depends from the spirits. For example, Maitland, that is one of the main guide I have, and she's a nine. She presents herself like 9 years old, and sometimes with her, I can physically feel her. Like I'm walking around for my town, and I feel her. I have the feeling of her taking my hand, and I used to say hopping next to me, you know, like the kid do when they even that. Or some it happened. I usually don't hear spirit. It happened only once when the actor Leslie Jordan died, and I was going to bed, and he just had an accident, and he said, I hear his voice saying, "I didn't die in the accident," and I just read the news that he was dead minutes before, and he said, I didn't die in the accident. I didn't die in the accident 3 times. And I say, okay, I get it. You didn't die in the accident. What does it mean? You are that. And then days later, I found out that he had the accident because probably he had a heart attack. And so when the car crashed, he was already dead. And that's the only time happened to me. So, you know, such a clear way. I have no idea why he chose to give me that message so randomly, because it's not something that usually happens. And then I am not yet in the channeling experience so fluidly. I am more trans-channeling. So when the difference is when you are channeling, you are basically a translator. So they give you the message and you give the message. And when you are trans-channeling, it's like you step aside and give this, let the spirit borrow your body, and they speak with your voice, using your voice. So basically, that's different. Did I say it correctly? Guys, can you give me a thumbs up?
Yes, no, thank you.
Okay, so that's a difference kind of way.
A lot of people refer to it as conscious channeling, when eyes open and I'm receiving messages and being a translator or a auctioneer, where I'm relaying information that's coming to me and then I'm just repeating it, as opposed to what people generally refer to as trans channel, which is where we allow an energy to utilize our vocal cords in our body to communicate. Now, we all have a different way of doing it. Chiara does go somewhere else, and they do speak through her.
Sometimes
she's still somewhat conscious and aware, and sometimes she wants to listen, and then they're like, "No, go away," and they gently nudge her away.
Sometimes they push me away.
You know, usually to the left.
Yeah.
To that side, because Maitland did it to that side, and so they always push her to that side.
Yeah.
And so for me, what happens with me is I get a knowing, which I then consciously translate through my awareness. And so though I close my eyes so that I can focus on my internal experience, and you will hear my voice change from person to person, what I always emphasize is listen to the vibration of the energy, especially if you're energy sensitive. You can start to notice that, oh, this isn't Daniel, even though if you ask me, it's going through my awareness. And so I'm still driving the car, but I've got my eyes closed and they're saying, okay, go here. Okay, go here. And I'm like, okay, I'll go here, and, you know, a little more gas, and then I'll add more gas, or, you know, so I'm still driving the car, but my eyes are closed. And so they're telling me what to say and what to do. And so that's what I refer to as my translation. And so there's many different ways in which people channel and trans-channel, and what's really important is for you to find your own way and how it works for you. Because if I try and do what I think others are doing, I go nowhere. I have nothing. And I did that for 2 months in our practice group until I finally said, I can't do it this way. Let me do what I think I can do. And then all of a sudden I started being able to give messages, though it's not in a trance channel the way that I would define it.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful, Camille. Any other questions that you have for Chiara?
No, I don't. Well, first, how to pronounce her name? I'm having a little difficulty.
Chiara.
Yeah.
It's like a hard, it's like a K.
It's like a
CH
K.
in Italian is
It's
going to be
very
like a
pretty.
hard K.
Yeah, very pretty. The only reason I ask is because I've had the voice within me, but never, always helping me, guiding me, not where I was speaking and helping others. And it's intermittent, and it started again with meditation. But I wondered how to transform that or change that to, absolutely have a channeled message. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the messages for me, but I'm not getting them to help anybody else. At least I don't know. Shall I ask? Or
If you
what
want.
would you suggest?
You can ask.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
want,
just
if that's
curious.
something you want to play with, I mean,
It is something I'd like to play with
if
more.
it's something you want to play with, grab a friend and say,
Yeah.
hey, I want to experiment. Are you willing to just kind of sit with me while I try this? I get this voice that helps me, and I would love for you to ask a question and see what comes.
Right. Yeah, because I saw a vision right here in my kitchen about, I don't know, maybe now 6 months. And I got so startled that as soon as I went, well, maybe a little less dramatic, but she flew, but not, it was a woman's face. And she went right into a bouquet of flowers that I had right here. So, but that was one of like 3 times that I saw a vision. So I know that they're working with me somehow, but I have to relax more and just accept what I'm seeing, that of what's different from the norm, whatever that is,
Yeah. So part of it is allowing yourself to invite it into your experience. And another part is setting the intention. I want to learn how to trans-channel to a point where I'm no longer present. And I want to have the ability to be able to do both. And the way that I'm channeling, like I say, is still the way that I describe is that they're channeling through my awareness. They're not channeling through my body. And I want to get to a point where I can allow them to channel through my body so that I can do that at times when that's the appropriate way to present this information. And I want to have the ability to conscious channel where I can hear them and get really clear messages that I can then relay, as opposed to trusting in my knowing, which is really hard for me to do at times. And I want it to seem like it's coming from spirit, not just my own wisdom. And there's reasons for why I want to do that. Though arguably people will say that it's all your own wisdom, and there's no separation between your spirit team and you, and you're channeling yourself. And so I'm well aware of all of that. But I've got my own ideas of what I want to do and how I want to do it. And they're intentions that I'm setting, and I'm practicing and playing and exploring as best as I can to get to what I want to achieve. So part of it is putting yourself out there and, take the classes, grab some friends and practice and explore and experiment. So hopefully that's helpful for you, Camille.
Yes, thanks very much, both of you. Thanks.
And I can also stay open.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it's us that put wall between what we can do and what we can receive. So yeah.
Okay.
Allow ask, but also stay open to the answer.
That's harder for me, I think, because I do get that fear right away. It's just inborn in me, I think, sometimes, Well, very young it happened, a big fear. So that's an important aspect.
Go ahead, Kenna.
We were lucky because with a teacher like Jamie Butler, you don't get the concept of fear, because it's everything so gradual. You can grab that word. And it's like you go in ellipsis, and so you can like like stairs, and so you do step by step, and everything is so natural that fear doesn't have a place. And also fear is often part of our belief system. I know for sure that when I'm channeling, I am completely protected because my belief system says so. I know that, like Daniel said in the previous chat, we have gatekeeper that protect us and allow only what is good for us to come true. And so what comes is something good. I think that's important. Also, it's important to have someone help you, because in this way, you have always someone that can check on you and calm you down when doubt and fear are coming. But
so one thing that I'd like to add to this is, people refer to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit as a class, and I don't see it as a class. My intention isn't here to teach you how to channel. My intention is to open up a connection and a knowing and an awareness that this level of communication exists for all of us. This awareness of communication exists for all of us, and we're all channeling every day, all the time. Anyway, we just don't necessarily recognize it as such. I would very strongly agree with Chiara that if you want to learn to channel, take a class, because there's a lot of benefit to having the support, the structure, the supervision, the guidance from someone that's been doing it for a long time, in order to kind of walk you through it and to answer questions about the process. There's some people that will talk about, the dangers of connecting with spirit and all of these things. And though I don't really buy into those too much, there is an area where, for example, last season with Zach, we were talking about how when he was exploring his own spiritual journey, he wanted to go into portals and dimensions, and he started doing that before he was ready.
Yeah.
And he popped into a dimension where two very large beings showed up and said, dude, what are you doing here? You're not ready. And what they were basically, what he learned in time is that he wasn't approaching these experiences from a place of love.
Yeah.
He was approaching these experiences still with ideas of energies that were dark and evil or menacing or negative.
Yeah.
And, if you go into these experiences believing that there's darkness out there, then, chances are that you're going to find some element of that. And it can be really scary.
Yes.
Now, I talk about it all the time. Chiara has just mentioned it. My belief system, my intention when I connect with energy is that everything is love.
Yeah.
And I feel the truth of that. Like, there is no doubt in my mind about that. I am solid. There's nothing but love. And so I give the example, a number of months ago, we had a ghost, I'll call him a ghost, appear in our practice group who likes to scare the hell out of people. He loves to go into haunted houses and blow on the back of people's necks when they go into a dark corner. He gets such joy and pleasure out of scaring humans. And it was a chit chat with a friend. It was a fun, lively conversation. It was not dark and menacing. Now imagine if I happened to have an idea of darkness, he would have loved that opportunity to come and scare the shit out of me. And so what the thinker thinks, the prover proves. And so a lot of what these courses do is they help us to understand what are our beliefs, setting intentions, setting protection, utilizing stones, for example, that are really good at protection and redirecting energies and, you know, ... There's a lot of things that we can do to create the space from which we feel safe and secure.
Right. Well, I am working with stones a little, and I'm doing Reiki, which is energy filled.
Yeah.
So it's all building. I think everything is a stepstone for the next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
stepping
if it's something that you want to do, and this isn't just for you, Camille, but if learning to do this is something you want to do, please, you know, reach out to a teacher. There's a lot of people in this program, in this platform, that teach people how to connect with spirit and to channel. Jamie Butler is a wonderful teacher. You know, I cannot recommend her enough. Sarah Landon, who I talk about all the time, you know, has classes to teach people how to channel. And so when you resonate with people, when you align with how they channel, find out if they offer classes of channeling, you know. So hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, no, it is because multidimensionally, I think I do have a lot of the clairs, and they're just beginning in a way for me. So I really want to explore more. Thank you both. Yeah, this is exciting. Every
Good luck.
Thank you. The days that I was here were exciting too.
Yeah, let us know next season how you're developing.
Yeah.
So, Chiara, any other questions from anybody, or comments, or anything that you guys want to bring up or ask? Everybody good?
Okay.
Anything else you would like to share, Chiara, or are you interested in...
Well, one thing I want to add about what we spoke. There is a comment, Kitty commented in the chat. Perhaps the lack of fear grows the more we channel. We understand its falseness. Yes. Also, I speak for myself. I cannot speak for anyone else. I feel such love. I feel such love from when I'm from the spirit I channel, that it cannot scare you, that kind of love. And I do private session. Yes, I started to do that. And one thing that is in progress, but is I started. Sorry, I mentioned the last time we did. It was season 2, no, 4. I don't know. Last time, season 4, that I started to learn how to do some healing, and I love that. It's funny, and I'm getting some nice results, especially when I'm not involved. So,
so one of the things that Maitland very actively works with Chiara in the healings, as well as others, of course, but you'll notice that when Chiara is doing healing, when she's channeling, she starts to move her hands, and almost like the Harry Potter, taking thoughts out of the brain and kind of moving them around in different ways. And so there's kind of like a physical movement of her hands, which is really cool. But yes, she does do private sessions with people. She is also very quietly posting channeled messages on her YouTube channel.
A little bit too
which she
quiet.
probably didn't want me to say.
No, it's okay.
but-
I'm certain to.
So Sally typically is the one that kind of hosts those conversations for her. So Sally's another member of our practice group, and so you'll see her in those if you go to Chiara's YouTube channel. Which reminds me, I should probably put that YouTube channel in the description, given that I'm mentioning it, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I might have already. I can't
It's
remember.
scary.
Anyway.
That's way more scary than that spirit.
And Chiara is also channeling in Italian. It's actually
Yeah.
easier for her to channel in Italian because it's her native language, and so it flows more easily. But I think she does wonderfully in English. No, we haven't started yet. We've been chatting, Casey. So she was just about to go into the channeling, so you haven't missed the channeling yet.
So give me.
Oh, before you go,
Sorry,
guys, Chiara's asked me not to ask, long, elaborate questions and to keep it short so that I don't pull
Thank
her
you.
out of where she is. And so I'm going to do my best to keep the questions short and sweet, to help her. And yes, the YouTube channel is in English.
Yes, English.
So I'll add that to the description of her bio a little bit later on if it's not already there. I can't remember if it's there, but I'm going to shut up now so she can leave us.
I just need a few. Okay, let's see who's coming.
Take your time, no hurry.
They are playing with me.
Sure. Welcome. No hurry, take your time.
Okay. Let's have fun.
Excellent.
Mm.
Do you need a little bit more time to get our friend out of the way?
I am pushing her already. We are fighting when you are not seeing. We are fighting, and I'm sending her away.
Have we spoken with you before?
Oh, yes. We spoke before.
Within this platform or within our practice group?
Oh, in the practice group, I am always around. I joke. I pull pranks.
I wonder who you might be.
Yeah, I wonder.
Right?
And she didn't even ask me to behave. So.
Oh, so you've got free reign. That's exciting. Okay, so would you like to introduce yourself to people that are listening, or would you like me to?
My name is Eric. I am the prankster of this group. I usually go to not everyone that entering my circle, and by circle I mean everyone who heard me or about me, or yeah, I know people, both human and ghost. I am a helper of the chat. I am a friend of this bunch of people who like to play with spirit. And what can I say? I am usually very inappropriate, and she's already panicking for that. So it's fun because she's panicking and she's already imagine her spirit working in a
Pacing.
room. Yes, pacing. Okay, one thing, she doesn't know always the word I mean. So sometimes we struggle, especially when she's in panic like now. But I promise, sort of, to behave. I try to keep this weighing
To a minimum.
to the right amount.
To the right amount. Perfect. And so
Sometimes a good swearing is a good swearing, and you need it.
and it's necessary. Absolutely fucking agree.
Yes. That's what I.
Okay, so there's some highs from Sally and Shannon. Of course, I'm sure you can feel.
Hi,
those.
friends.
Okay, so
she need to work out.
Really?
You have to tell her again because she never do. Yes.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I need to work out too, but I've got an excuse. So there's a question. Are you ready to take questions, Eric, or is there something that you would like to kind of share with us?
Yes. Go with the question.
Okay. So before we do this, Eric is an energy that is fun, playful. Like he says, he's a prankster. But he's also extremely helpful in helping you to connect with yourself and your team and your spirit. So you can always invite him to help you. If you're looking to better understand the feeling of energies and your own awareness, you can invite him to help you develop that.
Yes.
And so Eric isn't.
I am silly, but I am not stupid, basically. So if you need very serious stuff, we can do that. But if we can do that in a playful way, it's easier for you to learn, to not be scared, like you were mentioned before. It's easier to learn. It's like with children. If you make them laugh when you are teaching, they learn in a better way than if you are straight. And so my approach is basically I go around and I make noise. I make people laugh. People
you make noise is a
blush.
good way of saying it.
Yeah, that's I make inappropriate comment or stuff like that. But
he presents himself
behind
naked
that,
to people too.
Yes, but
when appropriate.
When appropriate.
Are you blushing? Is that possible that
No,
I'm making you blush?
She's blushing. I don't blush.
So anyway, enough about you. Ready?
Yes. Go on with the question. So
doubt and fear as a normal process after I channel. What would you say to someone who is experiencing doubt and fear after they channel? Oh,
she's censoring me because she's no, she knows that I was going straight to this way. So I'm going to go to this way and say, fuck your mind. That's the first time. The first thing that you have to do. Fear and doubt are your your mind playing the trick. And this is happening to you, happening to her, happening to anyone that's channeled at the beginning, especially. You start to doubt, is this real? Is this not real? It was me. It was a ghost. It was something else. Am I psychotic? She wondered sometimes if she was psychotic. You always have your mind trying to trick you and bring you back in a very normal and more conform way. So anything that happened outside the norm of society, your mind will try to trick you in thinking that you imagine that. Like when you see a ghost, when you wake up during the night and you hear a voice calling you, your mind says you were dreaming. Yes, maybe you were dreaming, but maybe you were listening and hearing us calling you. When you are channeling, you have no way to know if it's true or not, at least at the beginning. You can try to do a journal when you write everything down, you channel, and then you can get the confrontation and see, oh, this thing happened, this thing didn't happen, this thing was true, this thing was true. And as you can say from my voice, it's a very boring way to do the thing.
And the word isn't confrontation, it's confirmation, just to clarify.
That.
Yes.
Yes. So you can allow the doubt to enter your mind, or you can decide consciously decide that doubt don't have a place in your practice. For that, I advise have a sparring partner that is trustworthy, that you trust. In this way, the other people reaction and action with you and interaction with you can help you to ground yourself, make practice, make training yourself in channeling or in receiving message or whatever. Oh, sorry, I lost a little. Okay, you can train yourself in this way, and this will help build the confidence. What this bunch of strange people and weird people did years ago, starting to have a practice group every week, was something that helped them to find the confidence to be able to do that, do channeling without thinking and without doubting. And even now, sometimes doubt arrived, it's something that is just a very small parenthesis in the whole process. It becomes easier, more you to practice. So
is that helpful, Carolyn? Is there anything else that you would like to ask about that, or is that good?
That was very long.
It was
answer.
very long. I'm telling you, I was surprised that you kept on going and going and going. I've got my own ideas, Carolyn, as well, that I'm happy to share in the next session, about my own journey and my own experience and my own doubt, which is still very much very active and present in my experience as well.
I would appreciate that, Daniel.
Yeah, happy to. So the next question here is from Kelly. Are we learning to channel or opening the gateway to remembering how to channel, or any energy techniques or modalities? So let's take the second part of that out. Are we learning to channel or opening the gateway to remember how to channel?
Interesting question. Everyone can channel any moment. People are channeling. Let's imagine this scenario. You are speaking about something, and suddenly you are speaking and you said something so fucking brilliant. And you're speaking, and then while you're speaking, your mind says, how the fuck I wrote this answer? I never knew that. That channeling. It happened constantly in the world. It happened to everyone. Not everyone knows when they are channeling. Not everyone knows when they have the power. So yes, in a way, we are just remembering how to channel. We are allowing ourselves to channel and become a channel, and yeah, that. About a technique.
Yes. So are there any energy techniques or modalities that you would recommend? And I know the answer to that, but go for it.
There are, and there are not. What I mean is, anything is good. This one, learn more about channeling, doing a technique that doesn't channel at all. And yet she started to add message, but she didn't know it was a message. She thought it was her own mind giving the answer. When you are doing like Reiki, you are channeling energy. When you are when your hand moves where the energy is needed, that's a form. That's a kind of channeling. Is energy that it's the energy that gives you the message where to go, where put your hand. It's not your mind. Yeah. So there is not one technique. There is billions of techniques. The journey is discover the one that is more in tune with what you are. So maybe a technique that for 90 people is perfect, you try that and say, no, this is not for me. And maybe something that is so weird, like, I don't know, you need to put one fruit on your head, or you need to have 2 bananas in your hand to find the signal to channel. And maybe that's your thing. There are not right and wrong. The only measurement of wrongness is if that wrong for you, if it doesn't feel like right, it's not there is not a universal truth, universal way.
And I think that what you mentioned is really important to highlight here, which is even the things that we do that aren't traditionally channeling are going to teach us about channeling if that's the intention we have. If we want to learn how to channel and we have that as a direction that we're setting for ourselves, and then I decide that I'm going to go and take a class on computing, you know, I might get messages during the class of computing that awaken something in me about channeling. So Kelly is putting a clarification here
Yes.
with regards to her earlier question. What she's asking is, I just meant that, is it all a remembering, like I have done it before in other incarnations? Or is this something that she's learning in this incarnation on its own?
So the question was specific for you. You had a life. You had more than one life, but about this topic, you had a life where you were used to channel the spirit, the ghost of ancestors. You were able to speak and call the ancestor of your family and have message from them. And that's where you learn. So whatever you are doing in this life is going to wake up the energetic equivalent of a muscle memory. So it's a process that is going to become so natural, like you always did that. So that life was the most significant about your question. But you had several lives where you were sensitive and had let's call them psychic power, psychic abilities. Some of those were fun. Some of those lives were hard. So you are bringing everything in your energetic luggage. But the channeling will be easy, very easy, once you trust the process.
Hopefully that's helpful, Kelly. Next question is actually related, and you've already sort of answered this.
And one thing, Kelly,
go ahead. Sorry.
Call for me. When you are in doubt, call for me. And I come. Sorry.
Just be ready.
Yes.
And so one thing that I'll add, because Eric is really good at doing this too, and Sally mentioned it, he's also good at, if you happen to walk out of your bedroom and all of a sudden smell like a fart bomb, and you're wondering to yourself, why am I smelling that here? There's no reason for this to be here. Eric may have something to do with it.
Yes, but it's also true that if you want very clear boundaries, I'm going to respect them.
Of course. He will respect your boundaries. But
yes.
He does.
So I will prefer if I can play the fat one. If you are not comfortable, you can decide that this is not going to happen. With this one, I know that I cannot scare her because she's going to go in such anxiety loop that would be not productive for whatever thing I want to do. So with this one, scaring doesn't work. But with other people, a little bit of not scare, but pranks that just made them remember that I was there. Happen very, very often. I do that. And people laugh. And people yell my name, especially
lovingly yell your name.
Sometimes they do lovingly, sometimes they are mad, but then after they laugh. So boundaries, you set up the boundaries, and any ghost is going to respect them.
And so one of the things the reason that I talked about how you can always invite Eric to help you with all of this is he's really fucking good at this stuff.
Yes,
He is really good at this stuff, and he is, as some of our spirits friends say, he's very well connected in the spirit world. A lot of people know who he is. And so though he presents as this kind of playful prankster,
but I have a lot of friends.
And he has a lot of friends.
I have a lot of friends.
He's been doing this for a lot longer than that, Shannon.
And usually, if I know that I'm not the right person, the right ghost for you, I will look for someone that can be perfect with you. And I will help and teach you how to find the right person for you to interact and so call for me.
So there's a question here which
I always especially if he's a good and nice and pretty lady, I am always happy to present myself.
So there's a question here that relates to the following question as well. So I'm just going to do a blanket statement here.
Yes.
And please correct me and please add to this as well. If you are attracted to channeling, chances are very high that you have been a channel, that you are a channel. Some people will say that when you are listening to a channeled message, you are the one that actually is channeling that message. So arguably, you are channeling Chiara speaking Eric right now. So there's a connection and association that if you're attracted to this,
really, really, really very complicated.
Yes. So simplify it for us.
Yes. When you feel the calling and about listening to channel, or you are feeling the calling of taking a class, or every now and then someone say, there is this channeling, there is this thing, there is this ghost, there is this thing. It's the universe giving you very small nudge toward that direction. If
nudge.
you, what did I say? What
Nug.
she did. Yeah. If you, let's say that, let's see. If you start to see the same message over and over and over and over around, and sometimes you get a song, sometimes you get someone that say the same word, and sometimes you get the same message from several sources, completely in an unrelated way. The chance that the universe is giving you message are very, very high. So what you can do is listen listen without using too much brain. Don't overthink that. Don't overanalyze that. Allow yourself to follow this flow of information, which doesn't mean that you don't have always in every second the ability of choose your path. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is a moment in your life where everything points toward a direction. That's a good path to take. Did I go off topic?
I think it's helpful. I think it's all right.
Okay.
Now, there's a couple specific questions.
Yes.
A week ago, I received a message that was repeated 5 times. The message came through in a slightly deeper voice and was, quote, "You are us and we are you," end quote. Can you help me understand how to connect to where this message came from? And this is Arturo.
Can you give me again the message?
So I'll tell you the whole thing.
No, just the message.
Okay. You are us and we are you.
Okay. Okay, what you can do is okay. Just a moment that I'm trying to find the words in this mess of brain. Okay. The message you receive is a message that is from is that answer of a question you asked a lot of time ago about how to it's okay, sorry. that the message is a message channeled by your team member that is oh, why is it so difficult to find the word for this one? Your team member is in a way remembering that you are part of the team, even when you are incarnate on this planet. You are part of the team in a spirit form, even when you are alive. So what you can do with this message is open yourself to a wider communication between your higher self and your team. So the part of yourself that is still in the uncorporeal part of the universe, and open this communication. To do that, you can start with a simple meditation, but you can start with different practice. You can start with no, this one I cannot say because it's not very, I cannot say that. You can use she's censoring me in a way that goes beyond. Basically, smoke a joint. That's what I was trying to say. That's one way, but I'm not. Okay. What Arturo can do is try to open this channel in a more active way. So doing meditation, doing spiritual practice, doing exhaustion, like
not sure if I know what that word is supposed to be. What about journaling? Would that be something that he could play with, just to keep it simple?
Yes, but I was thinking more about a practice where he strained his body so much that his body doesn't have the strength to make resistance. I'm not saying doing that like run a marathon, even if that works, but if you can like do a crazy dance for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something that have your body move and your mind go completely blank from what you are doing, like a crazy dance can be useful, not a thought. And I think I already give this, we already gave a similar suggestion sometimes. I remember giving that. Maybe it was not me.
Arturo, is this good for now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anything else that you want?
I will not use journaling in Arturo case because it will be
too intellectual.
Yes, to mind filter. You can use the journal after your experience to write down what you felt. But yeah.
So physical activities that engage the body, that allow the mind to
yes,
get
and
out of the way,
again,
something like that.
You don't need to kill yourself with physical activity. 10, 15 minutes of something can be enough.
So just engaging in some physical activity and
yes,
being present in it and allowing the mind to just quiet will open you up.
Allow yourself to shut the mind down when you are doing your physical activity.
Something I do that does that is going for a bike ride. And it just completely quiets my mind, and I focus better.
Yes. Try the crazy dance. Trust me, that work. Because when you are cycling, you are even if you are in a meditative state, you are aware of your surrounding, because you need to keep high on the road and be sure there is not a 10-ton truck in front of you. So in a way, your brain is always active. You need to find, while the cycling is wonderful as meditation, and keep the mind quiet, you to have access to the connection with the other side, you need to find something that will create a sort of bubble. So I use the crazy dance because it easily to imaginable. But you can also jump. The chord is the same. Something
Jump
where
rope
you
or
something
like that,
anything,
jumping jacks, anything like that.
Anything that that doesn't need you to focus on anything else.
Got it.
Thank you.
Next question. Casey is asking, do you sense that I can tap into muscle memory as well for themselves with regard to channeling? Individual question.
Why not?
So I guess the question is, do I have past lives or other alternate lives where I channel and I can tap into that? If I interpret the question.
Yes, everyone had a life where they were in a way channel. Because at the beginning of time, it was something natural. So anyone who had it's so rare that someone never channeled before in one of their life, because it's a natural connection. It's like swimming instinct for children. You have that that instinct. It's just some instinctual abilities that we are not aware of. We are, but the usual, the most of people don't. So so you can tap on.
So one of the things that I'll add here is we are multidimensional beings, and we're
Yes.
living multiple lives in many different environments, many different aspects. And some of those lives are channeling as a open day-to-day process of their experience. And we can tap into that simply by, again, our intention and our interest. So I'm aware of the time. Shannon in the background has been talking to me about books that have been written about your story. So if people are interested in learning more about Eric, there was a book that was written by his mother, channeled through Jamie Butler. And then the second book apparently was Eric writing it, channeling through Jamie Butler and a woman named Elisa, who I don't know and I'm not familiar with. So if you're interested in this, let me know. I can get the information from Shannon. So reach out to me and let me know if you're interested in this information. Elisa, what's your mother's name, Eric? I always forget. Elisa?
That one.
That one? Okay, so Elisa has a whole community around Eric. There's a lot of information. That's how Jamie met Eric, was because Elisa reached out and said, you know, I'm looking for mediums to help me communicate with my son. And so there's a whole community and a lot of information around Eric. It doesn't take much to find his information through her community, both on Facebook and she's got a beautiful website with a lot of stories, and there's recordings there that go back to the beginning of their conversation. You know, so there's a lot of information out there about Eric.
But you don't need them to call me.
Correct. Oh, and again, I want to emphasize, I put this in the chat. There was a question about how to call you and in a way that won't bring in another Eric. And what I said is that it's not about the name that you're using, it's the vibration and energy. And so
you ask for the most dashing one.
Yes, ask for the most dashing one, and you will get the right one. And so
you ask for me, you ask for Eric, and you get the feeling of me. Yeah. It's not the name. You can call me whatever you want. You can call me Jack Smith. It is the same. It's not the name. It's the energy you put behind your request.
Yeah. And the other thing that I want to say to this is, you know, a lot of people have the idea that this needs to be complicated. It isn't. It's just, hey, Eric. Yes. That's all it is, oh, Maitland, can I feel your energy? Oh, okay. That's what you feel like today. It can be as simple as that. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. They're always
I think that hey, Eric is a good way to call
Eric.
Me.
And Eric with a K. It has to be with a K, because if it's with a C, it won't be him. I'm kidding. Well,
so you call for Eric and I come.
Yeah.
Because you know you are calling for me.
You've met him. You've met the energy. You've met the frequency.
It's easier when you, in a way, met me.
Yeah. When you have a reference, you have a reference form already, and that's all you need.
You can. Yeah. No. Sorry, I was off tangent because if you don't know me, how you can call me? But once you are aware that in a way I exist, you can call me in any moment.
Very easily. And this is true for anybody. You know, this is something that we talk about all the time. If you align with Yeshua's energy, or you align with one of the archangels, or you align with Saint Germain, or, you know, all of these
Any spirit. You can call for any spirit.
The deities of the past, you know, the Egyptian deities are talked a lot about in spiritual communications, and so you can call into connect with any energy that you resonate with and that you relate to, and it's easier than we make it. It doesn't have to be complicated. So Eric, aware of the time, anything that you want to say before you leave us?
Have fun, laugh, and that's a message that a lot of us are bringing to you. Have fun, and remember to laugh, because laughing keep fear away, and laughing also make your energy goes high up.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
It was very a short message, because I did talk so much tonight, and
Very long-winded. Really long-winded.
I didn't fucking swear enough.
I know. Is that what the issue was? You were trying to find words around your swears?
I didn't swear enough.
Anyway, Eric, always an honor. Thank you for everything.
Next time, I'm not allow her to censor me, and I will fucking swear the I want, because
there's a lot,
it's funnier.
There's a lot of thank yous, Eric, in the chat. So people have really enjoyed meeting
you. Around, guys, and be aware.
And they have your calling card, so be aware.
Yes.
Be warned that people will be reaching out to you. So
yes.
Awesome. Thank you for coming to play, Eric. Always a lot of fun and honor.
See you next time, which
ciao.
will be soon.
Yeah, I'm
bye.
Sure.
I will launch your no. I will pull some pranks. So if you get some prank, you know what fault was.
You know who to blame.
Yes. Angel face here. See you guys.
Ciao.
Oops. Sorry. Okay,
so for people that are interested, if you go to Amazon and you just do a search for Eric Medhus, Medhus, and you'll get My Life After Death, a memoir from heaven. And you can also do a search for Elisa Medhus, Elisa, Elisa Medhus. And again, that will come up with My Son and the Afterlife, Conversations from the Other Side. And like I say, if you do a search for Elisa Medhus or Eric Medhus in YouTube, or even just in Google, you'll find Elisa's page. But I will say there are some people that have been misusing his name, and so go to Elisa's page specifically, as opposed to anybody else claiming to channel him or work with him or play with him. I've heard of some people that are misusing his name. So, Chiara, welcome back.
That's one of the reason when
oh, perfect. Channelingeric.com. And that is with a K. That's the blog, channelingeric.com with a K. Beautiful. Thank you, Shannon. Really appreciate that. So you were saying, Chiara, sorry?
One of the first channel I did for my channel that I never update was Eric, and he didn't use his full name. He used just his name. And at that time, he was very
Reserved.
Yeah, it was not like the usual Eric. It was more not formal, but he says that he said that he was wearing something like black tie or something like that.
So Eric is a character. He's a lot of fun to play.
Yes, he's a
lot
very
of fun to have on your side.
Yes.
So Shannon is adding that the YouTube channel is channeling Eric with a K as well. The official tag is, or not tag, I forget what they call it. The YouTube name, the shortcut for YouTube, I forget what word they use, is at channeling Eric official. And again, that's Eric with a K, at channeling Eric official. So
I feel a little bit drunk,
yes.
to be honest.
Okay, so I'm going to speak for Chiara. If you go to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit website, and you go to Chiara's profile, you will see that Chiara is offering a special invitation that is a one-on-one channeling session for $80 US. Send her an email at healer@chiaraprato.com. So healer, ampersand, ChiaraPrato.com. And you'll see it spelled out in the website, and I'll also spell it out in the description, but I'm not going to put a link to it. So again, I'm trying to avoid the robots to steal her email address. I keep on trying to convince her to even put up a simple website, but I haven't quite gotten her there yet. So anyway.
Soon there will be a maybe.
Maybe by next season she'll have something up. But if not, in any case, reach out to her, healer@chiaraprato.com, ChiaraPrato. And of course, as always, you can always reach out to me as well. I can put you in contact. Anything that you would like to share, Chiara, before we bring this conversation to a temporary end?
I'm very.
So for those of you that are new to channeling, some people, when they come back from channeling, are a bit loopy.
I am way more loopy than usual tonight. So I apologize.
So
no, I don't know what to say, honestly.
Okay. Perfect.
But thank you everyone for being here tonight and playing with us. And that's it.
That's it. Thank you for coming to play with us. And so for those of you that are going to be able to stick around, the next session is with me, and it's the last session of the season, which is always, bittersweet. It's been an amazing season so far. I will do my best to match the level as best as I can. But Chiara is, as I've said before, a dear friend of mine. She's amazing. She's got a great playful energy with spirit. If you relate to her, if you resonate with her, reach out to her. And like she said earlier, she also within the channeling, a lot of healing sometimes spontaneously comes out, or that's the intention going in, is for specific healing. And then Maitland and others will come and play with your energy and move stuff around. It's actually quite cool to watch. It's really, really cool.
I thought that today there was going to be some, and I honestly didn't expect Eric to arrive. I never know who comes. I never ask. So
I was hoping that Eric would make a presence, but you know, he's always here, whether he's verbally speaking. I know that he's a part of this program, this community. So thank you, Eric, for
it's a cool guy.
for coming forward. Okay, so enough is enough. Let's bring this to an end. So I will leave you guys temporarily. I will see you at the top of the hour for those of you that are coming back. Chiara, make sure you look at the notes in the chat, thanking you and everything.
Thank you.
And I will leave you guys temporarily for now. I will see you soon. Being spirit, being human, simply being from love. Bye-bye. Thank you for being part of this incredible experience. We hope that this session has inspired a new level of understanding within you, allowing you to expand more easily into the essence of your true self and become an even more powerful alchemist in your own life. We invite you to listen to the session again and again in order to go deeper each time and expand even more. Have it be via the replays or the unlimited access package. If you have enjoyed being part of this event, we invite you to tell your friends so that they can join us in the future. We are grateful that you are here, and we thank you for co-creating this experience with us. Until next time, we leave you with being spirit, being human, and simply being from love.